Alright, what up you guys? Hit 100 in Diablo last night, and so what I wanted to do was make a little video about my thoughts on Diablo, my character, gear spec, Paragon, all that. And so let's just get into it. So hitting 100, I did a mix of some kind of like regular T4 dungeon leveling stuff. I definitely think players should get into T4 immediately and just do open world because the mobs scale with you, the experience always scales, and the Hell Rifts give so many very important crafting materials, like Forgotten Souls. I'm just constantly out of these. Whereas like the Nightmare Dungeon Sigil Powder, I hit the cap on really quickly, and I stopped disenchanting weapons, armor, and jewelry because I don't seem to need more of this. It just seems like I need constant gold, so I was re-rolling some gear. I just had 40 million gold, and it goes to zero instantly. So the gold sink in Diablo is fucking real. And so let's just talk a little bit about the Whirlwind Barb. I'm using kind of like a generic Paragon tree right now, the generic barb tree that Rob guy who got early access to play for like 2 weeks or something did. I have a feeling that I'm going to theory craft this now that I'm 100 and respec, but I already am doing a variation of this. I think it's early right now. It's Sunday. Diablo came out last Thursday. I think people who leveled straight to 100 didn't quite get it. And I think a lot of them burned out and haven't been playing, etc. But I mean, Diablo's a marathon. So that's why you saw me when I was streaming during my break, sleeping, taking 12-hour breaks, etc., streaming 12 hours and then being off for 12 hours. I think I ended up with a really well-rounded character because of that, because the moment you're in T4, you can get level 100 gear. So I have refined and spec'd myself, and you need all of these glyphs, all 6 of your glyphs or 5 of your glyphs, depending on how your spec is. These all need to be level 21, and mine aren't even all max level right now. At the very least, they all need to be 15, but then I only have 2 21s right now, 21 being max. And the power gain that I'm probably going to get by getting these last 4 glyphs up to 21 each is probably going to double or triple or quadruple the damage of my character, as well as probably increase my tankiness. Like the power that's baked into the Paragon tree and the passive level, you get like some sort of power multiplier in the passive level, because I haven't changed my gear a whole lot since the 70s. I mean, okay, that's a lie. I've obviously changed my gear, but I'm saying the items that I'm looking for, these are my last basically 10 or so odd upgrades that I've just kept rolling. Like I've replaced my helmet. So I replaced my helmet twice lately. I've replaced like a 2-handed weapon, a necklace, a ring, 2 swords. I got rid of the Gore's devastating gloves. You'd be like, oh my god, those are amazing Gores right there. Why would you get rid of them with the perfect lucky hit roll and the max? I'm done with Gores. I have a new spec that I don't think I've not noticed any streamers or YouTube videos. So I figured it out first. I think that basically dual wield Whirlwind is better than 2-handed Whirlwind. So basically both my mace and my sword have become stat sticks to what I think is the build is focused around this Ramalodni's Magnum Opus, and I just got the 0.3 yesterday. I'd gotten a 0.2 the night before, and I was like, fuck, I need to get this. And so that with my weapons creates this crazy one-handed spec right now. And, I think a lot of people are obsessed with Hoda right now because there's that big streamer that's showing Hoda and, whoa, 10 million crits every now and then. Whereas like I'm looking to do like, 1 million to 2 million crits every like third of a second and just grind up all the trash, etc. So I'll make another video showcasing how the character kills things, because it's pretty wild if you were watching my stream. The power scaling, I mean, I think last night I like breezed through a level 55 Nightmare solo with this spec. Just like one-shotting, killing elites in under a second and stuff like that. Like it's quite wild right now. And so the attack power and everything seems to have scaled with the level 100. So I guess let's get into the gear first. So the helmet, the main things I started looking for as of around like my 60s. And as soon as you're in tier 4 at 60, you can find this helmet because this is an ancestral helmet. You only want to pay attention to ancestral gear. And so, of course you can take a yellow item and imprint it. You can take a legendary, take the effect off of that, and then take your yellow and create a legendary item out of it and upgrade it. So that's what I've done here. So life on kill, super important, and the cooldown reduction. Those are the 2 core stats. The reason I have all stats and dex on this is because I need this in order to hit some things on the Paragon tree. You'll see dex is a high requirement, but dex is giving me dodge and crit, so it's not all bad. Makes a well-rounded character. It's not all about what item level, etc. It's about good items. So this is just quality roll with a 38%. I wish that the crit strike against elites was higher, or the damage reduction from enemies that are bleeding was higher, you know, whatever, but a 38% on the lucky hit. So that means if I lucky hit 23% of the time, let's call it 1 in 4, and then I proc cooldown 1 in 3 lucky hits, let's call it, let's round up on one, round down on the other, so it's about even. Every 1 in 12 hits, I basically reset my cooldowns by 1.5 seconds. That's how the math works out, because a lucky hit is a 1 in 4, and then this is a 1 in 3 out of those 1 in 4. You can multiply 3 by 4, 1 in 12. 1 in 12 chance, probably somewhere more like 1 in 11 and a half, if you want to get really technical about it. Either way, it doesn't matter, but that's the synergy of the character coming together. That's how you see me reset my shout cooldowns. Now, with the cooldown that I have, we're talking 18.71 cooldown across all these shouts, plus the shout ring another -6, so we're talking 12.71 seconds is what I need to make up in order to have perma shouts. So I've basically got 7.4 seconds against a lot of elites to tank it out. Either way, gloves, we've got the lucky hit there because we want that increased lucky hit. This may turn out to be a bad stat, and Whirlwind might just lucky hit enough. I think this 14% here is actually giving me like 3 or 4%. It's not a lot. It's the difference between 1 in 5 and 1 in 4 lucky hits. The temerity is probably cornerstone of the build. It's extremely important, once again, because it's a unique like the chest. The stats can't be rolled. You don't get to pick. It just drops with an item level. Once again, another reason to be in tier 4, because you need this to roll ancestral. You do not want a sacred version of temerity. You'll be so sad because the stats on it are going to suck. So high item roll temerity, and ideally you get a better than the worst possible barrier roll, but it's made up for here with a high roll stats, a high roll potion, a high roll healing, and healing received. This will get better. I'll find it, and all I'll have to do is press upgrade at the blacksmith 5 times, and boom, it's ready. So the moment I find it, but either way, it doesn't matter a good or a bad temerity. This means all healing that funnels in as I kill stuff, as I hit stuff, as I drink potions, goes into barrier. Barrier damage is super important because the gloves, whenever I'm barriered, 24% increase. You'll see with the Paragon tree too, whenever I'm barriered and healthy, I'm increased damage too. So if the barb is injured at all, it's weaker. The barb wants to be fully robust health, shielded at all times. The moment I lose that, I'm basically going down. So the whole game is me feathering potion, keeping myself in a shield state, which it won't seem to let me. So moving on, the boots, we got triple max evade so that we can dodge, 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 dodge like that, and that can really help you at a time when there's explosions and things like that. But you know, the whirlwind on the gloves too, ideally this would be a 4 whirlwind roll. I'm missing 10% damage. There's a lot of damage we can still squeak out of the character now that we're at 100. But weapon, you know, of course the critical whirlwind, so we're plus 48% crit chance, plus we're plus like, you know, 9% against elites on top of the other stuff. We basically have like an 80, 88%, 85% crit rate. I might even drop it down. But what's important here on the mace is we have core skill, we have the vulnerable damage, and we have slow. Basically, the stats that you're really looking for on a weapon is close damage, core damage, vulnerable damage. And then your fourth roll can be whatever that you want. Like I'm slowing things, so I like the slow here. But once again, I have the all stats because I need the dex and some other stuff. So maybe all stats might actually end up getting rolled on this into dex is what I might do. And I'll keep the strength on this one. But either way, core skill because whirlwind's a core skill. Then on the weapons, we've got slow damage once again because it's a high roll. We've got close, crit, core. Ramalodnes, we're not allowed to change it, but what's important here is it's a 0.3% multiplier against our fury. So this thing's handing us, the more fury we have, up to a 30% increase in damage based on our fury or more. Because we have more than 100 fury, so 0.3 against 100, 33%. So you get the idea. The more fury you have, and there's potions that increase fury by 52. That's a straight damage potion. So there's no question in my mind you'll come back to this video and be like, Artemis, holy shit, you were right. And so it's like, yeah, I know. This is going to be the cornerstone of the build as well. And then this is just another big stat stick because I've transitioned out of two-hand. It of course comes with critical hit, vulnerable, core, close, and then just a fat strength roll. Strength is armor and damage. And it may turn out that strength is not as important at some point. I don't know. You make a big base damage, then you crit really hard. And then the other two major parts of are the rings. You know, I've got a close, crit, resource gen with the shout. And unfortunately, I made it all the way to the level 100. I never saw a 3 shout ring. I never saw a 4 shout ring. That's how rare they are. I made it to level 100, and I never saw a variant of this ring with 3 or 4 shouts. Did you know that you get 2 out of 4 for free? Just by completing a dungeon, you can infinitely imprint 2 out of 4. It's just a dungeon imprint. It's not even like a rare imprint. I never found the 3 or 4 wild legendary imprint to rip off some ring and put on this. So I can get a 3 or a 4. I made it all the way to 100 without it. It doesn't matter. It's an extra 1 or 2 fury per shout is not a big deal, but in a min-max game. And then this ring, I finally, people saw on my stream for 5 days straight, I had a 1.1 after the nerf, because this used to be a lot more. Used to do 12 seconds and 6 seconds. They nerfed the hell out of it. But either way, now I have a 1.7. I have a high roll, even though it's half what my old bad roll was. But a 1.7 is now good because what can you do? They've deleted the others. And so you see again, same thing, resource regen, close enemies, vulnerable, crit. Close enemies, critical damage, critical strike chance, resource. I may swap this out for another ring that doesn't have critical strike. That's the beauty of softcore. I get to collect many versions of rings. You'll be like, holy shit, that's a lot of resource gain between those 2 rings. And then, holy shit, 10% fury cost reduction on the boots with the movement speed, and then cooldown reduction here. And yes, that brings me to my amulet. The amulet with the fury cost reduction, the cooldown reduction, and the 27% damage boost after killing an elite for 4 seconds that just helps me snowball through elites. Just give me another 27%. The sad roll here is this total armor 7.8%. I'm trying to roll +3 defensive skills, even a +2 defensive skills. It doesn't fucking matter. Just please, can I roll it? And do you know how much this is to roll right now? This is now 8 million gold per roll. Per click to try to turn that 7.8% armor into +3 to defensive skills so that I'd get an increase to my challenging shout and my rallying cry. Both these would become level 8s instead of level 5s. That's like the god roll. So this would be a god necklace. I might have to put 100 million more gold into this to turn this into the truly god necklace, because it's 8 million gold a click now, and you see I have 700,000 gold. I just blew through 40 million in a few clicks trying to get it. I was like, dude, let's try and get it for the video, but it didn't happen, so we've got our work cut out for us at 100. Expertise-wise, we're using two-handed axe expertise right now, only because this is broken. Let it be known, my video noticed way before anyone else figured it out. Sword expertise is not applying a bleed if you use this technique. Even though it says 20% of my direct damage I deal is inflicted as bleeding, it is not actually counting as the bleed, so it does not proc the cooldowns, so the build does not work even though it should. I assume Blizzard will fix this at some point, and very quickly it means that I can swap Whirlwind from the bleed / variant, because this is the thing that's currently proccing the cooldowns on the build, to the 30% damage variant. Now, I already tested this on the stream. It hits like a fucking truck with the current state of my gear. Like, absolutely insane. But I have a window where I just don't cool anything down because the bleed from expertise is not working. So I'm using axe expertise right now for extra 15% damage to Vuln. I don't have a choice. As soon as this actually works, I want to switch it back to sword expertise. But it's broken right now. Shocker, first week of Diablo 4. So that's the gear. That's what's so crazy. And then what I've done here is I switch the lunging strike to dual wield as well, because dual wield's faster, so I can lunge, and charge up my core skill ability, and then snapshot it with Whirlwind. And then Whirlwind also dual wield. Now you'll see right here, it says 23%. Oh yeah, and I have double cost Fury and it's still 35. That's that resource reduction in action right there. But I got basically a 15,995 top end. If I switch to bludgeoning, 18,751. Like, whoa, that's a lot more. If I switch it to slicing, 18,100. It's still more than dual wield. If I tell Diablo to auto select which weapon it's going to use, it says use the mace, bro. But we use this because we're using the Ramaladni's Magnum Opus, which gives a 30% increase to all damage based on our Fury. Well, divide 124. Okay, so I had to re-clip my video, so hooray Sony Vegas. Anyways, so 124 divided by 0.3, it ends up with a 41% damage increase for the character based on this. And so you can, of course, drink a consumable, I think that gives 50 resource. That's an extra 16% damage. So it's just kind of wild. This item, I'm gonna end up respecking the character tree here. I guess what is it? Its abilities. I'm gonna end up respecking this because there's a lot of Fury nodes in here that are basically just gonna increase raw damage with the build, and I think synergize better. But we run 6 glyphs right now: Imbiber at 21, Territorial at 21, and then Exploit, Wrath, Disembowel, and Martial. And then you can pause the video, but all these things do different things, and the damage increases that will come from leveling up like Martial, we'll get more physical damage, we'll get more armor. All these effects amplify what they do. This one, Wrath, we get increased critical damage with core skill. That's obviously very important for us to get Wrath from level 16 to 21. We're going to crit even harder with Whirlwind, which you'll see when we go in the PvP zone, which the PvP zone has like higher scaled mobs that are quite difficult for World Tier 4, etc. We might even see some players, you'll see we just delete stuff. So I'm probably going to farm up the killer set right now while it's early, while I'm 100, and I can just bully everyone with right click and not even having a PvP spec. But I need to redo the skill tree anyways right now. But yeah, I'm just using the generic budget bard or barb build. It's nothing spectacular here. We basically think that there's a way to get this spec and get this one-handed damage and stuff, but since I've already switched into one-handed spec, like I'm already a variant. There's no doubt in my mind that the Supreme Barb Whirlwind build is dual wield. So I think everyone's getting red herringed right now, off on a wild goose chase. So you can be like, oh, Artemis figured it out way earlier than everyone else. But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna farm up some gold because, you know, the gold's tough, and I think each Paragon point to respec is 39,000 gold. So each click is 40,000 gold. 10 clicks, 400,000. 100 clicks, 4 million. You get the idea. Paragon tree is not so cheap to respec either. And I think we have like 200 points. But I'm going to redo it because I think that there's a lot more damage I can squeak out of a Supreme Whirlwind build now that I've kind of figured it out. And then abilities-wise in the skill tree, we're doing bleed here because bleed cools down the stuff. If the whirlwind thing was working right, we would do the 30% whirlwind with the expertise skill, but obviously we can't because sword is not proccing right now. It's just a fucking bug. So that's also the main thing. And then we have 8 out of 5 whirlwind. It should be 9, but we haven't found 4 gloves yet. That's okay. We have a chance to proc vulnerability whenever we spin. So in groups, we're extra good with a character that vulns stuff. I want that defensive neck as I showed because that will give 8 on these, which would just be increased probably duration of it. Maybe, I don't know if it does anything, but it would increase the damage reduction and the fury gain. Always handy. We're healing based on our percent life, 3% per tick. So that's just feeding into barrier too because we're always regenerating. We're getting better fury regeneration while we're berserk. You know, we proc berserk pretty regularly. I ended up getting this 23% damage increase against injured because I took it out of the 2-hand spec. We've got 1 point so that our bleed's slow. That way we're always slowing everything. I don't know who's inviting me. And we have Wrath of the Berserker, of course. And this is the crazy thing. We're using the skills cost 25%, or 100% more fury. And but they deal 135% increased damage. That's how you get those crazy multipliers, and that's why I have so much synergy between fury cost reduction, resource generation, and then, you know, I think one of these also, yeah, this willpower stat with the all stats is giving resource regeneration too. So we're somewhere in the 50% increase to resource generation. So like when we crit with our skills, that gives back fury. When we, like, all sorts of things we do is constantly giving back fury. We lucky hit and we heal. So the temerity, of course, lucky hit, chance to heal. 1 in 20 lucky hits heals. So you get the idea. We crit 1 in 4. So, you know, we're healing every now and then, but it all feeds into the temerity's barrier. So that's the character. Unfortunately, when I was doing the original calculator math, my 4 key is my mute. So I lost my train of thought slightly when I realized I was recording this, and I'd muted myself because I was typing into the calculator doing some math, and I was like, fuck. So let's go into the PvP zone and beast some stuff up. It looks like this guy's trying to talk to me right now. We'll go wander around PvP zone really fast, and I'll show you some of the numbers. We're not really going to get to like actually buff up and kill anything because I don't think anything's going to tank unless we see the boss. But yeah. The first week of Diablo 4 Barbarian, before everyone figures it out, let's put on a potion. Let's put on cooldown by evade. Who cares? We won't even cheese with a resource pot for this right now. You know, I'll show you my generic one, and you know, we'll come back with a new Paragon build, etc. Oh yeah, and we'll mark the blood. So maybe a chance at the end of this video that we kill someone. We're just gonna have to pay attention to see if anyone's trying to extract blood shards. Or if the zone's bugged again and PvP's been disabled, which they did that earlier. They basically disabled the zone, and it's kind of looking like that right now. There's nothing here. So I don't know what they're doing at the PvP zone yet. There's no mobs here. So I think that they there's something weird going on. We'll try the other PvP zone, but yesterday all the mobs were here and they had like 1 billion health and they were one-shotting me. My character's nuts. I can walk through a 55 nightmare dungeon like nothing. Like my consumables right now, I've got like a 58, some 48s, I guess from earlier stuff, a 50, a 54, a 56, a 55, 50, 49, 55. Yeah, because that's what I was doing at the end. And then I was trying to carry 3-mans through like 48s, which is, of course, a lot of health in a 3-man party 48. But yeah, I can carry through that too. So, oh look, some Seeds of Hatred. So let's see. So here's some just regular mobs. There's some boss mobs or whatever, elites. Oh, there it goes. And you notice if they vuln, they get hit super hard. But yeah, let's maybe we can find someone out here. Someone's out here farming and not even picking up these seeds. Hopefully we can find this player.
I need time.
Otherwise, I mean, yeah, this is just regular mobs, but it's just like a sea of blender damage, as you can see. Like it's just fucking guys getting just chopped in fucking half. So and it's a fucking monster.
I need more time.
So we just need to pay attention to the mini-map because that's when people extract and then we'll go kill them. Because the way the PvP zone works is these blood shards that I'm getting, you can't take these out of the raid by going to town. You actually have to do an event where you alert someone like me that you're here extracting, and then I can kill you and take all of it. But yeah, it's like look, here's an armored mob. I just killed it through the armor effect. Like it's pretty batshit crazy. We really need to find the boss in order to show like a charged up thing, because like these things don't even like this is why I can just gold farm now though. But you get the idea. Like it just blenders the PvP tier mobs, and the shouts just come back up so quick. It's just 822,000 out of like, you know, all the other crits. It's just it's hitting like 3 or 4 times a second. It feels like it's just crazy how quick the damage comes out on it. So I think it's a way better farmer build than like we're on the trail of someone out here. Someone's out here. We'll find them. No, that's the town. Maybe they went back to town. Yeah, when you're blood marked, there's special blood marked chests you can get out here.
I need time.
At some point, this world boss will appear. Yeah, mobs are.
I need time.
There's someone just cruising around in here farming right now. But say we get 3 whirling crocs, we go like that. I'm trying to even just see like a number against an elite when I snapshot like that. But yeah, I mean it's a crazy ass build right now. I'm hoping this boss spawns. Let's see, we'll do this event. So yeah, the rest of this video will just be me farming the PvP zone for a little bit. Nothing too exciting. We'll get some stuff. So if you have gear questions, come to my channel or post comments below. But this is the state of the level 100 Barb. Basically, first week of Diablo 4 release. It's pretty crazy. And I like that Diablo 4 is different than the others, where you're not just getting one skill that's scaled, getting 1,000,000 damage. As I get stronger like this, it's actually scaling my other stuff. So like that mob only has like probably 1,000,000 or 2,000,000 health. It just dies instantly. It was like a 750k crit and probably something else. But yeah, this is a weird little escort quest where when the ring is around it, I can't actually do anything. But we've got quite a bit of movement speed too, which obviously feels good. I kind of gotta pay attention for if there's like a random player shooting at me too. Since, you know, we are in a PvP zone. And like, you see how quick our cooldowns are? So it's like, that thing probably, we only saw one of the numbers there. We didn't even get to see the other number that appeared. So we still need to do Shrines of Lilith. If you look at our map here, we've done Fractured Peaks, we've done Dry Steppes, Hawazar, Kyrgyzstan, Skosklen. We got the 4 Paragon points and all the bonuses, but when you mouse over, we've got 31 shrines, 34 shrines, 33 shrines, then 6 out of 34 up here, and only 16 out of 28. So we've still got like 42 shrines of Lilith that we can get right now. But you know, it's no biggie. But like, yeah, the PvP zone, like, it's like, oh no, what if I get attacked while PvEing? It's like, dude, like, oh, here's a guy right now. Look, that's a player right there. That's a player. So there he goes. So that's a player that just rolled up on me, and then these are all like mobs that are here, you know. We just grab his seeds, so that means he dropped all of his items for us. Not his gear, but all his seeds, and then we get to take his ear and be like, oh, it's a dead guy, a dead level 78 Barbarian. He realized quickly he needed to run away. I noticed that there's a lot of players that think they're like geared at level 80 right now. And so here, let me just show you an extraction event. I mean, obviously there's no skill involved in the PvP. I mean, I'm my PvE whirlwind spec, you know, this is nothing spectacular. I shout 3 times and then I blender everything like here, those things had the armor buff on them. Do you see how fast with a 90% damage reduction? Like that's what I'm saying, dude. Everyone says Whirlwind's so weak now that Blizzard nerfed it. Dude, do you realize how insane this spec would be if Blizzard didn't nerf the other 2-hand spec? Like, I think they nerfed it to try to like get people to realize, like, dude, we didn't realize this, but like, you're supposed to be doing the 1-hand. Like, I think Blizzard devs are probably sitting there right now like, dude, that one guy got early access and now every Barbarian's playing dual wield or 2-hand for some reason. They've all copied him and they're just gonna be like, well, it's gonna take a couple days. Oh, the boss is up here, perfect, then we'll end the video. So yeah, it looks like it might be fighting a player. So there's a player there, there he goes. That was a player. We'll buff up really quick and let's see if this thing goes vuln. It's not vulning, so we're not getting to see true damage. Oh well, but yeah, that's the PvP boss, and that was another dead player right there, probably out here trying to farm up. These people, they're like level 80 or 90, and they don't realize that the base stats in the Paragon tree, like I might have like 60 or 70 more Paragon than this guy. So let's see here. So let's go and do an extraction now. Now we have 16,000 PvP shards, and keep in mind, and here we're about to get more. A PvP shard right now is actually so valuable because 18,000 is a lot. The PvP cosmetics are between 60 and 90,000. There's only 5 of them, like 90,000 for head and chest, but then 70,000 and stuff for the boots. So they're very valuable right now, and there's not a lot of hundreds. So you better believe I'm gonna start my stream after this, and then I'm just gonna be farming the zone because I'm gonna get all of the fucking cosmetics before the zone's a zoo. When every player and their mom's here, so. All the shards are mine. Come and get me if you dare. Fucking, the odds of you being able to kill me is like 0. You know, and look at these elites, they just, it's like their health bars, it's like they're not even there. So good luck with your character and your rolling Barb. I'll let you know when I update my Paragon and I'll show more in depth. Otherwise you can just go and find Rob's. Like, look at that explosion doesn't even like hurt me. So, who knows what we can do solo right now. I want to finish off the rest of the glyphs and all of that. But we'll just go over here and extract with this, and you'll see the extraction. But and the mount is 80,000 too, so I think it's 80,000 times 6. So roughly like, you know, 500,000 or so PvP shards is what you want. And I mean, we got 160,000 right now. Plus we're about to slam dunk another 20k in there, unopposed. Because I mean, seriously, who's gonna fucking show up and stop me right now in the PvP zone? The odd, most people that even hit 100 on my playlist right now burned out and like stopped playing and stuff, or suddenly people are leveling alts. Like, dude, I don't. Like I said, Diablo's a marathon. We got all these fair weather friends playing. They're not real real spreadsheet gamers, you know? There's a big difference between us and all these other guys that are just like speed leveling, etc. It's like I'm trying to make a well-rounded character. There's no way any of these people that hit 100 quickly have all of the macro stuff done on their account. So there's 20,000. It's like, dude, I can't say no. And look at how thick this density is. Oh my gosh, and another pack of elites right here. Look at that. What more can you ask for right now? Like, that's why it's tough to leave the PvP zone to even extract, because there's just so much loot to be had. So if you tune into my stream, you're welcome to join my group and just loot the stuff as long as you give me the shards, because the shards are shared. What did I just hear? Oh, a box breaking from that. But yeah, the PvP zone is super, super dense because it's supposed to be hard mobs, etc. But as you can see, I've just scaled out of my fucking mind already. So here, we'll extract the 22,000 and we'll call on that. And you'll have to look for the next Barbarian video update. Oh yeah, and I got, obviously there's not a lot of bank space in the game. And so what I've done is I've started making alternate characters. Like, I have a bank full of uniques. So I just made an alternate character where I took all like 30 or 40 uniques and I just put it on that character. Oh, here's like a level 30. So he's thinks he's immune right now. It doesn't appear to be doing any damage to me. Let's see here, once we rage up again, this is where he dies. Goodbye. So I don't know what this guy's doing right now. Hanging out. So that's what I mean, is like, he probably has a way better PvP spec. He's got an invulnerability spear, he's, you know, seems to be fast, he could cloak, he was teleporting around. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen with this game's PvP? But I know how to do math, so I just bop you. Who cares if you do all this tricky stuff? Math just hits you in the head. 0 damage done to me, etc. It's just like grinding up against him, like, just, hey bro, you're just gonna fucking die. Like, he's attacking a fucking brick wall. So there goes the shards. That's that. That's the current state of the Barbarian. Oh yeah, and here I'll do a quick stat scroll as well, so you can see just how obnoxious my stats are. Like, my character's gross right now. It's gross. This is what happens when I took a week off from work so that I didn't have to play, and took vacation, paid vacation. So I was paid to create this character. Paid handsomely. So yeah, it basically, we're all about the crit chance, 32% plus 48% for a cool 80%, plus another 9%. So you get the idea. Nothing like a 90% crit rate, basically. That's why I'm thinking I'll drop the critical strike chance on this. I have a bunch of spare insane gear already. Like, basically gear pieces I've already upgraded to something else and then just held on to it so that I can mix and match more. So yeah, and then we've got the 294% vulnerable damage. So, you know, quad damage against vulnerable targets. So with the fat crit, the fat damage while healthy, the fat damage to close, the damage to elites, damage with physical. We got to get rid of this bleeding. That's why I think that one slot is not right. I think that's the wrong slot. So I'm probably going to get rid of this because that's not actually helping. And then 424% damage with core, 27% bonus when we kill elites, snapshot on top of all the other stuff, 10k life, 15% increased healing, 31% potion drop increase, 9 of these. Oh yeah, where's our lucky hit? I thought lucky hit, life 883. Maximum fury 124, so we're gonna try and push this up to like 180 or something. That's gonna be the sweet spot. Another 20% damage coming from the Romuladnis, a 30% fury cost reduction, 37.7 fury generation. We get 4 fury on kill, 25% cooldown reduction. That's given us a nice 18.71 shout. Lucky hit chance bonus is 14.7. Our lucky hit fury is 21. 92% damage reduction in PvP and a 65% armor contribution.
This will be your last.
Good luck with your character. Until next video.